How's it going? It's Ethan here at eTrailer. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Titan Chain Twist Link V-Bar tire chains with cams on our 2022 Toyota RAV4. These are going to be a pretty aggressive tire chain, and the Toyota manual does say that you probably shouldn't be using chains on the car, but if you're in a state like Colorado and chains are legally required, these might be for you, so we're going to show you how they work anyway. These chains are a ladder pattern, which means that they go straight across the tire compared to your diamond pattern style chains. They'll give you a greater grip on starting and stopping. It's going to be a little bit bumpier ride. Regardless, these V-bar chains are going to make it bumpier anyway, so aggressiveness is something you're looking for, smoothness probably isn't. The chains are made of a low carbon steel, which is not going to be as weatherproof or rust resistant as a manganese nickel alloy might be, but for the case of these V-bars, it might be better because it's going to give you a little bit more flex on each of these points, whereas they get cold, they get a little bit more brittle and they're prone to breaking. But the cams that are featured on the chains themselves will help you get things tightened down. The chains do come two to a set in this canvas bag. It's really light, and with these V-bars in there, you can see we have a rip in ours already. So I definitely recommend, if you do get these chains, probably grab some kind of plastic tote, something heavier to keep the chains in and keep the weather out. But the installation of the chains was pretty straightforward. You can check out how we did that now. To install these chains, the first thing we want to do is lay them out flat to make sure that everything is where it's supposed to be, nothing tangled or caught together. Additionally, we want to make sure that these cams are on the outside, because we'll have to turn those later. And we'll want to make sure that they're facing up. We do so by looking at the link at the end of each chain. We want to make sure that this flat side is the side that's going to make contact with your tire, and these hooks aren't digging into the tread. Also, we want to make sure that this lever is on the outside as well, but if the cams are, this will be too. It's easier to get them on if we center everything first, so we've done that, and now we can drape our chains over our tire, doing our best to spread them out evenly, both across and around. Just going to make it easier for us to make our first connection on the back side. To make our first connection in the back, it's pretty straightforward. Just fit this hook into a loose link. We'll go with the second link in our case, but we can come back and adjust it if we need to. Now we have our connection taken care of on the back. Start with the connection on the front. Fitting this lever, we'll go with the second link in our case. It might be a little loose for now, but we'll tighten up the cams and see if that gets us where we need to be. To tighten the cams, well, you need to use this provided lever tool. Just fit them in the cams and turn them clockwise. There are 4 cams, so we'll see how many we need to tighten in our case. 2 is already pretty secure. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get 3 or not. Yeah, 3 was pretty easy. I think we were a little bit looser down at the bottom, so we'll try to get all 4. And there we go. It's about as tight as I think we're going to get it. Although the chains are really tight with the cams, they do have the tendency to shift around while you're driving, so we recommend getting a rubber tensioner. It's sold separately, but we do have those here at eTrailer. It's something that we can use to keep the tension in our chains as we're moving, bumping along. Things tend to loosen up a little bit, but if you put these on the same way that you take a tire off, put a tire on, just a sort of star pattern, it's going to help keep things secure, again, as you're moving and bumping over tough surfaces. Once you have this tensioner on and in place, it's pretty much it for the install. Make sure you put the chains on your passenger side tire as well. Roll forward or backwards a couple times just to make sure that everything is secure and you're ready to go. These chains are probably some of the most aggressive chains that you can get. With the V-bars and the ladder pattern style, it's going to get you a lot of grip and traction on ice and snow, but it's not going to be a very smooth ride compared to a diamond pattern style chain. But in general, I think they do a great job, and the cams make them an even better fit on our 2022 Toyota RAV4.